snorkeling, scuba diving, land sailing, culinary delicacies, and even feeding wild donkeys. We'll cover some of that in our second review of Bonaire. But first, let's talk about Chogogo Dive Beach Resort Bonaire. How about a quick room tour? We booked a studio standard room. There are also studio deluxe rooms, as well as apartment and villa options to choose from. A small kitchenette is included, with trendy red appliances. Our balcony view of the lazy river that snakes around the property was not bad for the modest-sized room we booked.
Look at this guy.
Welcome to Bonaire.
Yeah. It's a snake.
After a good night's sleep, we decided to check out the rest of the property. Heading down towards the beach, located in between two of the resort's 3 restaurants, there is a good-sized swimming pool. The third restaurant is just up the stairs under the tent in the center of the property. This eatery is called Sunset, but it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bari Beach Bar is another good option for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We tried the Jack Daniel's burger and some avocado toast. We didn't try the third restaurant, called Bina, which is also located right along the beach and is open for dinner nightly, except for Tuesday and Wednesday. We strongly encourage renting a car on Bonaire, so you can explore the island on your own time. Chogogo offers a secure gate at the entrance, as well as ample parking for guests. The only time we had an issue finding a space to park was one evening when the hotel had live entertainment. The lazy river, which circles the property, is a great way to relax. There's even a short water slide if you're feeling adventurous. But there's so much to see and do on Bonaire, so hop in your car and head east. A quick stop at the local supermarket to get some milk chocolate for us, and some carrots for the donkeys. There are wild donkeys pretty much all over the island, but if you head to the east and southeastern side facing the Atlantic Ocean, you'll be sure to spot some friendly donkeys, along with lots of very pink flamingos grazing on shrimp.
You want some carrots? Y'all want some carrots?
Give me more. I want more carrots. You're good at it. Yeah. You know how to eat a carrot. You know.
Yummy.
Our go-to for breakfast was once again Bagel and Bloom. It's located near downtown, within walking distance to the cruise ship dock, with plenty of Caribbean colors and shopping spots for souvenirs. This is where you'll find most of the tourists. But it's also where you'll find Julian's for lunch. The mahi-mahi and garlic shrimp are specialties. Downtown at night features 2 of our favorite restaurants. Bubbles, which used to be called the Captain's Table, has a covered yet outdoor feel perfect for dinner or an after-dinner drink. C'est La Vie has a more quaint atmosphere for some incredible burrata, as well as quiche and fresh fish. Pasta is served on Wednesdays and Thursdays. This is when we had some of the best gnocchi I've ever had. The desserts are also delicious, and the owner is very hands-on. He and his wife have another restaurant north of town called Macaroca Madeira. If you've never had Portuguese-style foods before, this is a fantastic place to start.
Thank you.
Bon appetit.
Is that custard tart not amazing?
Keep in mind that a lot of restaurants on the island are closed on random days. So it's a good idea to either call ahead or have an alternative in mind for restaurants. A reservation is not required at most places, but it is also a good idea during peak season. Google Maps is a great resource for restaurant reviews and menu items, as well as photos of food items and the decor at each establishment. Let us know if you have any questions about places to eat in the comments section, and be sure to subscribe. Of course, Bonaire is not just about the food. The clear, turquoise blue waters surrounding the island are a diver's and snorkeler's paradise. 1,000 Steps is one of many dive sites along the west side of the island, which has calmer waters than the eastern side. This spot is also very popular for snorkeling and includes patches of healthy staghorn corals, sea fans, and abundant marine life with smooth water for snorkeling even in the deeper water. We rented our scuba equipment once again from Dive Friends with 7 rental locations. This makes shore diving easier since you can exchange empty tanks without having to go back to only one location on the island.
The water is so blue.
The Salt Pier is one of our favorite spots for shore scuba diving. With an easy entry to a sandy bottom, you're almost guaranteed to see some adolescent sea turtles in the shallows. As you make your way deeper, the fish get bigger, and the coral reef takes shape out of the sand. But that's not the only thing emerging from the depths. The tall pilings of the Salt Pier begin to take shape in the distance. At a depth of about 60 feet, you may encounter some large Atlantic tarpon hanging out, just past the pier. Making your way through the maze of pilings, you'll find schools of fish taking refuge from the deep. The pilings are home to some various sponge corals as well. Just to the north of the Salt Pier is another great dive site, which is the namesake of a shipwreck. The Hilma hooker sank in the year 1984 in water about 100 feet deep. You can navigate to the reef underwater, but it's easier and allows for more dive time at the wreck if you swim along the surface and descend at the marker buoy. The 240-foot long vessel lies on its side in the sand between 2 coral reefs. At about 70 feet deep, you'll make contact with the hull of the ship, and perhaps a friendly barracuda or two. Or maybe come across a fellow diver following some Atlantic tarpon. Make your way to the stern, and you can take a photo with the rudder and propeller. Hilma Hooker is a fun wreck to dive, and well worth an entry in your dive log. October through December is considered rainy season for Bonaire. While the rain didn't deter us from diving, it did affect the visibility on some of our dives, especially on our only boat dive of this trip. The eastern coast is not shore diving friendly due to the larger waves and rocky coastline, so we booked a dive with East Coast Diving. Although we had clear blue skies, the water was a bit murky due to the fresh water runoff over the last couple of days. But that was okay because we still got to see plenty of critters on our dives. The East Coast has a real treasure though, and it's a dive site called Turtle City. This dive site is famous for the large number of green sea turtles that gather here. We saw over 30 turtles on a single tank. During the day, the sea turtles take naps along the bottom, as well as clean their shells on the coral or gather together at cleaning stations. While it is possible to dive this site from the shore, it is highly recommended to at least go with a local guide or boat tour. Last, but certainly not least, is the family-friendly sport of land sailing. Half sailboat, half go-kart, these vehicles can go as fast as 70 miles per hour in the right hands. The oval-shaped racetrack is located on the eastern coast where it is consistently windy. We hope this video is helpful if you're planning on a trip to Bonaire in the future. Drop us a like or any questions you may have in the comments section. Until next time, we'll work to travel.